Good evening, everybody. My name's Lorraine, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from the Fraser Coast area in Queensland. I'm actually from Maryborough. So tonight we're going to work with a different stamp than what we have done before. It's called Among the Swallows. Now, the funny thing about this is I have not seen any other of the demonstrators actually working with this, and so I thought, yes, I'll do this. And I did touch on it on my last video where I used it as a background. And then blow me, the other day I was clicking through some other videos, and I saw that Bruno Bertucci, that's Kylie Bertucci's husband, actually did something with this stamp. So I used it last time as just a background. I'm going to show you a card that I made this time with using it as a background, but with it being heat embossed. And tonight I'm going to do some extras, which I did case from that video that I was watching the other night. So it gives us lots of different ideas when we go through other demonstrators and see what they're doing as well. It does, we're all the same. We all want to get ideas. We all want to be able to do lots of different techniques, and there's so many people out there that can help us along the way. Okay, so don't be afraid to have a look at other people's videos and get some ideas from them as well. Obviously we can't do everything, and we all learn. We're all learning all the time. Hi Daryl, how are you? Thank you for coming on and visiting. I hope you enjoy the live tonight. Okay, so that's it. As far it's very humid here at the moment. I'm not going to say it's hot because it's not overly hot, but the humidity is very, very high at the moment. So fans on and trying to keep a little bit cool, it's always difficult. But you wait a few months' time, we'll be saying, oh my goodness, it's so cold here, we've got to wear a jumper. But we'll see how we go. How's your day been, Daryl? Have you enjoyed your day today? Yeah, I've had lots of different things to do today, so it's sort of been one thing after another, and had to put my craft room back together because I use it for several different things, and so I had to put that back together before I could sit and do this. And my husband's setting me up a new lighting system in here so that hopefully things will look a bit better than they do at the moment. So that'll be great. I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop down to the desk. I'm just going to, there we go. So of course we do still have our celebration happening. That's still going ahead. That goes until the 28th of February, and that is where we can, with a $100 or a $200 order or more, you can get free stuff. Okay, so it starts with a $100 order, and there's lots of things in here that you can get for your $100 order, and you get it absolutely free. Some beautiful papers, there's ribbons, there's embossing folders. Look, so stamp sets, and then when you go up to and embellishments, when you go up to like the $200, you get things like stamp and die sets. There's a couple in there that are really great. I'd just like to remind you about our joining special at the moment. I agree, Daryl. Bring on the winter. Me coming from England, but many, many, many years ago, something like 55 years ago, I still prefer the cooler weather to the summer heat. It's not the heat; it's the humidity. Okay, so with this new joining offer, it's absolutely fantastic. You get to add an additional $162 worth if you go for the option of having the 2 sets of Stampin' Right markers and the handmade designs stamp set, which is made especially for the markers. Okay, so you can only get that on a joining offer. We were able to get it up until the catalogue came live, and now that's not even available for demonstrators. Or if you didn't want the markers, you can get an extra $51 worth of product to add to your starter kit, and so you still only pay $169. $169 for all this stuff. I hadn't used the Stampin' Right markers before, and because this was the starter special at the moment, I decided to get a set, and I was actually blown away. And in my last video, I used them. I used them on the stamp that I'm using tonight. Absolutely fantastic joining offer. You know what, if you join, you don't have to do videos, you don't have to get people to join with you, you don't have to, do all the things that a lot of places tell you that you need to do. You can join solely as a crafter, and that way then you get a 20 after the first order, which is $169 for whichever option you choose. That's also including free shipping. But after that, you would get 20% off of your orders, and that's a bargain in anybody's. So you don't have to worry about someone being on your back all the time and saying you've got to do this and you've got to do that, because that just does not happen. And I certainly am not one of those people that's going to push that sort of thing. So our mini catalog is current at the moment from January through to April. Again, so many beautiful things in the catalog. I'm sure you've seen many of them on the different lives, and not to forget that annual catalog, which of course has the most sets, bundles, stamp sets, all our tools and everything that we need. It's all in there, and that is valid or current until April of 2025 as well. So we've still got at least another 3 months of this one. There's also, if you want to go online, you can look at our last chance offers, and that's items that once they're gone, they're gone. They won't be coming back. Stampin' Up won't be bringing them back. So that is exactly what that's all about. Now, that's enough of all that. So what I want to show you tonight, this is the card that I made tonight. Now, I don't know if you can actually see, but the stamping on it is embossed, and it's embossed with copper. So this is the stamp set that I'm using, or the stamp, because there is only one big stamp. That's all there is in the stamp set. Absolutely gorgeous. It's got the swallows, it's got the, what would you call them, irises, flags, whatever you want to call them. It's got the hanging flowers here. Absolutely gorgeous for a background, as well as for and I'll show you tonight what I'm going to do with this as well. So this one here, I just used the background. I used crumb cake, early espresso, white, and then I stamped and I heat embossed with the copper. I've added the early espresso and the crumb cake onto the front here, and just put a couple of the little druzy dots that we all love so much. On the inside, I just did an insert the same color with the crumb cake, and this was a piece that I cut off from the side of the stamped image after I'd finished, and as you can see, that's still embossed as well. So that helps to make to take the outside to the inside. I do sometimes put sentiments inside, but I find quite often that it's nice to leave it empty so that people can write a message. Although this has got the flowers and the birds on it, I still feel that this could be used as a mail card. It's not overly fussy. And if you're, you know, with these colors, then it seems to work quite well. I'm hoping that you can see the embossing on there, because this copper is it's the Wow embossing powder, and it is so gorgeous. It really does a great job. So let's get on with what we're going to do tonight. So we're going to use the stamp, and I think, as I said last time, excuse that being screwed up, I threw it away by accident. And then I had to get it out of the bin and unscrew it. Okay, so we're going to use a really big F clear stamp block, which I'm going to just try and drop over there so that we've got it nicely stuck on there. So with the size of this stamp, when we go to ink it up, we're going to take the ink to the stamp, not the stamp to the ink, if that makes sense. It did turn out pretty colors, didn't it, Daryl? I was very pleased, actually. When I started it, I really had no idea what I was going to do. All I knew was that I wanted to emboss it. I could just see that as an embossed background, and so that's why I did it. All right, so I'm not really sure what colors I'm going to do in the background this evening, so this is going to be a bit of a one-off. I think I'm just going to work with basic white for the let's me find some thick. Don't tell me I don't have one open. Okay, let's go. No, that's just basic white on basic white thick. All right. Sorry, I'm just fiddling around here. I had a phone call just prior to coming on, so where I've usually got all this stuff waiting. Of course, tonight I don't. So we'll just get a piece of basic white thick. And we will use that to make the card base. So our card base is 5 3/4 by 8. So if we cut along the long side, we actually save on paper. And I meant to actually change my cutting blade before I started tonight, but that was another thing that got put to one side. And by 8. So as you can see, basically, we can get 2 card bases out of that, and all we're going to waste is 2 pieces like this. Don't throw these away, because you can actually use them to put. You can actually use them to put sentiments on. Now I'm going to just butt this up against the top and the side here of my trimmer, and just fold it up. And that gives me a nice straight card. Where's my bone folder? There it is. All right, we'll just give that a bit of a burnish just to hold that down. Now, my top layer I am also going to do in white tonight. So that will be the 5 1/4 by 3 1/2. So we'll start with the 3 1/2. Hang on, let me see. 5 1/4. Let's start with the 3 1/2 and cut that at 5 1/4. And this is the piece that I'm going to stamp on tonight. And a bit later on, we're going to try and decide exactly what color we're going to put behind it. I'm thinking I would like something yellowish, and you'll see why in a moment. All right, so we have this here. Now I'm going to use the stamp, and I'm going to stamp it in the basic grey. So I'm just going to, like I said, take the stamp pad to the stamp and make sure that I have plenty of ink on there. Now when I do this, I have to be a little bit careful tonight because I need to make sure that I have certain parts of this actually on the card. So I'm going to just put that down and press it down, and there we go. Alrighty, so I'm just going to grab a wipe here, wherever I put them. There we go. And just wipe off the desktop so that we don't get everything covered in ink. I'm not sure where my chamois is. I always used to use my chamois, but I'm not sure where it is. Okay, so that's that. And with the scrub, I'm just going to make sure I've got it the right way around. A bit of the Stampin' Mist and clean. This one's hard. I've only got tiny hands, and this is bigger than my hands. Okay, and then dry it off on that side. And as you can see, that conditions and cleans the stamp all in one, leaving it nice and clean for the next time that we want to use it. All right, so, oh, have you? Oh, that's great, Daryl. I'm sure you're going to learn heaps from that. I mean, we all do need to, you know, if we can go back to basics and what have you. And yeah, like you said, it'll teach you not to waste as much cardstock and what have you. And that's really awesome. So what I'm going to do tonight, and I haven't really thought about the sentiment on here or anything yet, but I have cut these. I have fussy cut. I have colored these here, and I have fussy cut them. So my plan tonight is to place these. Where is it? That one doesn't go there, does it? Where does that one go? This one goes down here. So I can place this on top of here. And yes, I'm going to have to trim some of it off, but I have fussy cut it. So this will be put up here on dimensionals, and then I have the other one which goes up here, and we will pop that on dimensionals and put it up there. And then we have this gorgeous bird. Wrong bird, is it? Oh no, turn it up the right way, Lorraine, it might work. No, that is the wrong bird. That's not that one. That must have been that one up there. So that one's not going to go in. So what we'll do is we'll use this bird here, which will fit here. And then this one, I didn't fussy cut it because I wanted to show you. So because I don't have all the colors in the blends, I thought I'd give it a go with the Stampin' Write markers. Now this absolutely shows the difference between the blends and the Stampin' Write markers. This was the Stampin' Write markers. I thought I would do it darker around the edge and lighter in the middle. I don't know if you can see that or whether I can actually get that to focus. Probably not, but you can see the lines. You can definitely see the lines of where one color stops and the other one starts. So we won't be using that tonight. So also for the same reason, these I did do with the Stampin' Write markers. I did color these with the Stampin' Write markers tonight. And this one here, I actually did with the watercolor pencils. And again, you can see how with the watercolor pencils, you can blend the colors a lot better. Okay, so the Stampin' Write markers, absolutely fantastic for working on the what do you call it, the stamp itself. So this was the card I did the other night where I actually used the Stampin' Write markers actually on the card. Okay, just let me move that light away. I don't know if that's causing, no, I don't know what hopefully when my husband gets this new lighting sorted out for me. So yeah, so these, and the background here was also done with the Stampin' Write markers. Okay, so that's the difference. They're great for this, and they're also great for coloring solid color like this, but if you want to blend it, then you need to use either your watercolor pencils, or you need to use your blends. My goal is to get more blends. However, we can't have everything, can we? And there's only so much that I can get at one time. Alrighty, so that's what we're going to do tonight. So without further ado, this one I haven't fussy cut yet, and I did all these beforehand because I didn't think for 1 minute that you wanted to sit there and watch me fussy cut a whole heap of stuff. It's a bit like watching paint dry, isn't it? So I'm just going to go in here and fussy cut this one just for those that may not have seen it before, and show how we actually move the paper. We don't move the scissors, we just move the paper and work like that. Now you really do need a sharp tipped pair of scissors for this, because if you do have to get into some little cornery areas or tight areas, it does make it easier to get in there, a bit like that there. So I can use the tip of these. So we do actually have snips with Stampin' Up. Absolutely fantastic. At the moment, mine are put to one side because I really want to use them for ribbon at this point. And then when I get another pair, I'll have it for both. This pair that I'm using now, I've had for absolutely years. I can't even tell you where I bought them, and they do a wonderful job. So they're fine for the time being. Just take these little bits out and then just go around, leaving just a small white edge. And if you've watched me before, you know that that's something that's quite alien to me, simply because I was always a decoupage girl. So we used to cut right on the line or just inside the line. It is so tempting to buy everything, isn't it? And, you know, I go in and I put stuff onto my order, and then I'm like, oh, I can't put another order in now, you know, and then I have to wait. Sorry, I'm just going to have a quick drink of water. My throat is gone dry. Okay, so this is what we've got. So that's that piece. Now you'll notice that is slightly different colors because, like I said, with this one here, I used the watercolor pencils. All right, so let's get some dimensionals, and I know that we're going to have to chop some of this, so I'm just want to make sure where, so the dimensionals need to come up and over to more to this side. So that's what we're going to do. We'll get the fantastic take your pick tool, and we'll use, yeah, put one there. Now I'm one of those people, I really like to make sure that I have plenty of dimensionals. I would be devastated if I made something and then found out that it had fallen apart because I hadn't put enough dimensionals on it. Alrighty, I'm just going to swap now and put some of the minis into these other places where the large one is. Actually, that's probably going to, oh well, if it comes off, it comes off. It doesn't matter, it will just trim. So we'll just pop these in here. And into the little areas. I love these little ones. It actually stops us from having to cut the bigger ones. And I want to put one there. Let me see. Yeah, I do. Just want to pop one in there. All right, let's take these backings off. I get these things everywhere. I think everybody does. I don't think I'm the only one that gets them everywhere. My husband said to me the other night, "What's that stuck to your arm?" And it was dimensionals, which didn't surprise me. So I took a photo and I put it onto my Color Me Crazy cards page in Facebook, because I think everybody suffers from exactly the same problem. So as you can see, I've popped that up, and it's also overlapping. So when I put the layer down on here, we'll see how far it's going to overlap, and then I can trim it off from there. So the next one I want to do is up here. Okay, so again, a little bit of loose paper there. So again, I'm going to do that. I want to put the greeting through there, so I'm hoping that I can get it underneath, and it doesn't matter if it goes over the top of there. So once again, just using the dimensionals, I'm just going to pop some of the bigger ones. Come to the end. Oh, there's another one on there. I'll pop that one on. And then I'm just going to chop these. So don't think just because you've come to the end bit that you're finished, because you've got a lot more left to use. And often they're great to use in a long line. Okay. That one's going to go on there. This one, I think I'm only going to have to trim a little bit at the top. So where else do I need one? Just another one here. And just in there, I've got a piece of card. So, okay, so we'll get these tops off if we can. My goodness, that one's stuck. That's a top that's stuck on there. All right, it's not now. I'll remove this one, this one, this one, and this one. And then I'm going to line this up onto here. As you can see, it's going over the original stamp. So it's sitting over the top. And I just want to pull that up a little bit because it needs to go over. So it's sitting above the original. And then the last one that I've got here actually goes down here. Okay, so, and this one's the slightly different color one, but that's fine. I'm quite happy to use it. I don't mind at all. It'll just give it a little bit of something different. And then we'll pop this one. Oh, now, am I going to get that one there? No, I might not. I'm going to put that one back, and I'm going to use the smaller ones down here, and then we'll take this off. Sometimes you're lucky and you can get them all off together and pop them straight in the bin. Tonight, that's not going to happen. So that's what we've got. Okay. I'm going to start this at the top so that I know that I've got it right there, and then I can make sure that it's right at the bottom, and again, it's overlapping. So that's what we've got. Now, what we need to decide now is what color base we're going to put under here. I'm tempted to put something like a yellow or something like that. But no, that we decided that wasn't the one, didn't we? So we will put this one up here, but we'll put it up there in a minute. And these two that I've got left here, I'm really tempted to put inside for the insert. So let's have a look at a couple of colors here. What could we use? We could use sorry, I've gone quiet. We could use something like this. It may be a little too orange. So we could use that. Or, just bearing in mind that that's only going to, there's only a small amount of it going to show. The other choice that I thought was something like, let's have a look here. Something a bit darker. Maybe even a misty moonlight. Let's put it up that way. It's got a chunk out of the top of it. Something. Oh, I quite like that with the misty moonlight. You liked the yellow? What do you think of the misty moonlight? I'll see if I've got another yellow there. That one I felt was a bit too orange, Daryl. I probably don't have. Let me have a look. No, I don't really have a lighter yellow. Oh, sure, I had lemon lolly. I've no doubt put it somewhere and can't find it. All right, well, Daryl liked what we had with that, so I think we will go with that for tonight. And we will pop that on there. All righty, so let me cut that next layer. I'll pull that up there and we'll cut this layer. And this layer is going to be 5.5 by 3 3/4. So we'll go with the 3 3/4. And then we'll do the 5.5. So now that will sit just on there, and I will have to just trim off those pieces there. You like the blue as well? Let's cut a blue. Let's cut a blue. I am a bit of a fan of blue and yellow together. So let's just try, and then we'll decide which one we want to go with. So what have we got? We've got 3 3/4. And we have 5.5. So let's have a look. So that's what it's going to look like on the orange or the yellowy color. And then we can change it up and we can pop it onto the blue, and that's what it's going to look like on the blue. Okay, so bearing in mind we are going to be putting it onto a white base. So there's a lot of white in there, but we're going to have that. What do you reckon, Daryl? The yellow or the blue? Your choice tonight. So that's the blue. That's Misty Moonlight. the yellow. You know what, now I look at it, I'm sort of thinking maybe that it's not really yellow, and I honestly can't tell you what color it is because it came in a pack. So go with the blue? Okay, we'll go with the blue. Makes it pop. So I'm going to stick that onto there. I'm going to use the good old Tombow. Now I'm having Suzanne's problem. Let's try a different one. There we go. Bit of glue. And we will pop this into the center of there like that. Now I'm going to turn these over, and it seems a bit of sacrilege, but I'm going to chop off these areas where it just overlaps slightly. There we go. So that will sit on there. The blue does look nice too, doesn't it? I might make another one and with the yellow as well. I like to make 2 cards of each. I don't know whether we'll get time tonight to do that because I've just got to sort out a few more bits for this one yet. But that's what we've got so far. Now, I can put this little bird on as well, just to give it, we'll use the little dimensionals, the minis, and we'll pop that little bird on as well. I see these as bluebirds, but in actual fact, they're swallows because that's what it's called, swallows. This this stamp is in the online exclusive, so you're not going to find it anywhere in. You're not going to find it anywhere in a catalogue. It's just an online exclusive. So now we're going to look at a banner to go across and see what we can put across there. So for the one that I did the other day, there you go. You can actually see that now. Look, now it's decided that it'll show you where it's embossed. Okay. What did I use? I used I can't remember now. Where is it? Wasn't birthday celebrations, wasn't delightful wishes, wasn't corners in bloom, and it wasn't spotlight on nature. Okay, so we've worked out what it wasn't. Now let's see if we can work out what it was. It wasn't either of those either. I know which one it was. I just can't find it. It's one that I have recently. Spotlight on nature is circles, and I think if we put big circles on that, it's going to ruin the look a bit. And I honestly think that perennial postage is going to be too big unless I just put something about that size on it, but that looks lost. I wanted it to go right across. All right, I know one that has. So the Beautiful Butterflies has a gorgeous long banner that I really do like, and it would sit right across the front there, which I think would be excellent. And then I can just put the happy birthday from here on there, and I can use that for tonight. Now, I thought about coming on a bit earlier tomorrow, but it's not going to happen. I've got my lovely grandbabies with me tomorrow, So I will be coming on around about the same time tomorrow evening at 6:30. So that's got that happy birthday in there. Try and get that nice and straight. And I think I will do that. Well, as we've got the Misty Moonlight, I'll probably use Misty Moonlight or Night of Navy. Let me see. What have we got? Let's use Misty Moonlight because that's what we've started with. And I'll find a piece of... Is that long enough for that? Ooh, is it or isn't it? Let's have a look, see. That will just come out of there. So, oh, I'm taking my life in my hands here. So let's do the happy birthday. And I'm going to have to get it pretty much in the middle. Let's see what happens. That's not too bad. And of course, I've just got it on my hands. And now I'm just going to pop this through the cut and emboss machine, which I will bring over here. It's really awkward. I know you can't see everything that's going on when we use this. One of these days I will treat myself to a mini, which will be a lot easier for a lot of these. Alrighty, so I'm going to pop the happy birthday on there, and that is literally just going to fit. So put that there. Don't move on me. Put that on top and wind it. Oh my goodness. That was a nasty cracky one. And sometimes they do that and it's perfectly okay. It's just that makes a dreadful noise. It's quite off-putting, I suppose, when you first start and you've got a brand new cut and emboss machine and you put your first thing through it and it goes crack, crack, and you think, oh my goodness. But it is literally perfectly okay. And it may have been, look, that's all I had left around the edge. So that could have been what was part of the problem. Alrighty, so we've got the happy birthday. And I'm thinking I'd like to pop that up across that part there. Okay, not really underneath, but we'll see how we go. I think just up there would be fine. So I'm going to use dimensionals again. Let me see if I got the ordinary dimensionals here. Get a new packet. Or a new sheet. Oh, that's small ones as well. Okay. We'll use these. This is what happens when I don't get myself prepared right before I come on, isn't it? It's my own fault. Alrighty. So we've got a few dimensionals left on here. So we'll put 1, 2. Now, if you've got a long sentiment tag, it is really good if you can put plenty of dimensionals on it. Don't sort of put one either side and one in the middle because it will sag. They do sag. If not whilst in your care, then if you send them in the mail, sometimes they'll sag in the mail, and we don't want any recipients to end up with a saggy sentiment, do we? All right, so I'm going to put the happy birthday. I'm going to make sure that there's no sentiment in the one that is going over that greenery there. So I want to get it. My goodness, because it is full length, it's difficult to get. There we go. Happy birthday across the middle. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to get some, of course, I want to get some Wink of Stella. I'll try and find the good one. My cat managed to knock everything off of my desk earlier. So, and I want to give all this here, these flowers, I just want to give them all a little. Yeah, I think the blue looks nice, Daryl. I really do. I'm actually really liking this card, so I might even make another one later, perhaps. Okay, so the Wink of Stella going on there, just to give it that glisten or shimmer or whatever we want to call it. This stuff is fantastic. I don't know where I'd be without it. Years ago, I used to use a glitter. It was more like a glitter, and it used to take on the color of whatever you put it on, which was fabulous. It was great, but it took forever to dry. And the Wink of Stella doesn't take forever to dry, and I think it gives a much more subtle look than the one that I used to use. So I'm really happy with that. Okay, so that's what we've got. I don't know if you can see that. Like I said, we're trying to sort out the lighting because I have a light straight above me. And let's put a little bit on the bird, not a lot, just a bit on his wings. There we go. Yeah, so all right, that's the outside of our card, and in a minute we'll put some bling on there. We might need to decide whether we need to put a bow on it. I'm not so sure that we need a bow on this one. Come on, glue, stop giving me a hard time. Okay. Now we'll pop that onto the front of the card. And there is the front of our card. Right, just going to cut an insert. So 5.5 and 3 3/4. Let's see if I've got enough here. Is there 5.5? Yep. So 3 3/4 by 5.5. We really do waste very little cardstock, and what we do have left over we can use for other things. Now, because I had this bird and this flower there, see, there's the light, that's what I need to get rid of. Because I have the bird and the flower, I'm going to sort of use those on the inside here, maybe somehow like that, just to bring the ins, or I could put the flower there. That's what I might do, the flower there. And let me have a look at this bird and make sure I'm not putting him upside down. Oh, he definitely goes that way. So we'll pop him there and we'll pop the flower there. And then we can put a sentiment in the middle if we want to. But like I said, I'm not a fan of putting sentiments in the middle. So let's just pop our little bird in. Pop him in just like that. And then we can pop our other flower. Just let me. Oh, okay. And I think, you know, to start off with, Daryl, we all do that. I must admit, until Donna had shown me or told me how to do it, I was wasting all sorts of cardstock too. It's easy to do. And even now, sometimes I'll just do it and then think, I should have done it the other way. But hey, it's all good. I just wanted to cut that little bit out a bit more because it just did look a bit too much. And I want to pop this down so that we get the whole flower in there. I'm sure you'll learn heaps of other stuff too. So I believe Rose is doing that with her, and I'm sure she has heaps of stuff to pass on as well as Donna. So, you know, good on you for you know, taking the initiative and going for it. That's great. All right, so that's just what I'm going to have in the middle there. All right, we're going to put this in. Do you know, I think I've picked up the wrong one again. That's what I get for having more than one glue on the table. No, goodness me, what is going on? All right. Well, I'm getting some out, so I'm getting enough out to stick it down, so that's all. And then I'll sort it out a bit later and see what's holding it up. It's probably a bit stuck in the... So I'm just going to pop this here onto the inside, and with the magic of Tombow, I can move that around a little bit so that I can get it nice and even. And that is the middle of our card. Okay, so that's where we're going to put, you can put a sentiment in there. You can just write your message in there. I always think that the front of the card says what we want to say. And then later on, we can, if we want to stamp something else in there, we can, if we're sending it for ourselves. And most of us probably are. Or you can use that there to write a little message, something that you want to write to the recipient. Little tiny bit of this in there, like that, little bit on the bird. And what I might do is just flick a small amount of Wink of Stella through there. Beautiful. I don't know that I'm going to do that on the front. I'm just going to leave it. Now I do need to put some embellishments on there. So here we go. Choices, choices. So we have this one here, which has dreadful. The pinks, the blues, and it has like a bit more like the color that I was going to use on the front. Of course, we have the Druzies, which I think everybody loves. I do like these too. These are from Citrus Blooms, and they have these gorgeous iridescent sort of white, and it seems to pick up all the other colors. So I think they might be a good choice tonight. So We can have 1, 2, or 3 if you want to say which one that you would like. We can do that. I mean, Druzy has always been a very popular one, hasn't it? But I am seriously thinking, you love the Druzy gems too. Let's go the Druzy. I think I did put Druzy on this one. Because I felt that it went really well with the bronze. So we'll go Druzy. We'll use the Druzy. It is so popular. I hope they never take them away. I really do. Because, like I said, I have two packs of them, and I go through them like you wouldn't believe. All right, so I do want to put one either side of the happy birthday. So I'm going to do that. I might use the bigger ones. So now it's got to do that. So I'm going to go one there and one there. Oh, that looks pretty. Now I need to put another one on there somewhere. So I'm thinking maybe just down here I might just pop a little one, or I've got to go another 3. So I can pop one there. I might put one there and one there. What do you think? Let's go rash. Let's put plenty on. Not there. It's too close to that other one. One there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got to get one more on there. And this is always the heart. I'll just pop it down there for now. Okay, and that's our card. Alrighty, so that's our card for this evening. I hope you like it. It's a fun way to work with stamps, and you can do this with a lot of your different stamps. You can stamp them, and then you can stamp them again, and you can leave parts off, and just, like if you had flowers, you could do 3 sections of the flowers if you wanted to make it into like a 3D. However, whereas yesterday's card that I made, I feel that could easily be a male card, even though it has the flowers on it. It's not been made to be pretty, if that makes sense. This one is definitely, I feel, a female card, and with the little inside part there. This one, of course, had the bit that I cut off there on the inside, and I could have done that with this one, with the piece that I cut off tonight, but I didn't do that. So I've got that somewhere on the table here that I can use for another card. So thanks very much for joining me tonight, and let me pop the camera back up. There we go. I will be back tomorrow night at 6:30, and probably Wednesday at around 1 to 1:30. I do Zumba on a Wednesday night, so I won't have time to do it then. And I work Thursday and Friday, so there won't be anything on those days unless I'm feeling really energetic, if you like, when I come home. So tomorrow, just to give you a bit of a sneak peek, one of the other new stamps that we can get for free is, oh sorry, I forgot which camera I was on, is this Pick a Season. So I think tomorrow I'll probably case the one that is in the Celebration catalogue and have a look at how that looks. I do believe, like, it's one of those stamps, I think you've got to play with it for a little while before you actually work out just what you want to do with it, but I do believe it has a lot of potential. I love anything that's got a tree. This is one of those topiary trees. It's been cut really nice, but as you can see, you can put the roses in it, which is what I think I'll do tomorrow. You can put hearts in it, so you could make it a Valentine tree. You can put, this looks like shamrock leaves, so you could actually use it possibly for St. Patrick's Day. It also has these little, I'm sorry, you can't see that, can you? It also has the little, it has the shamrocks, it has the roses, it has the hearts, it even has these little Easter eggs here, which, you know, you could put them in the tree. Why not? Why not have an Easter egg hunt in the tree? All right, that's it from me for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed seeing the cards, and I will see you all again tomorrow. Thank you very much, and see you then. Bye.